These have quickly become one of my absolute favorite things to have for breakfast. Oh my goodness. I was making sourdough pancakes, following a recipe, but they were just a little bit too thin. And even though they were absolutely delicious, I wanted a really thick and fluffy, flavorful pancake. And this right here is it. We're going to be using our sourdough discard, and we're going to be making the best sourdough discard pancakes because these are thick and fluffy and have a ton of flavor. So in this bowl here, I have some whole milk and I've popped that in the microwave with some butter, and I'm trying to get that butter melted. So that milk is really nice and hot and that butter is doing its thing, melting in there. So I'm going to set that aside. In my bowl here, I have some all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to add my spices. I'm going to add in some ground cinnamon and some ground nutmeg, and these flavors combined with the sourdough discard, the tanginess from the discard, as well as the spices, oh my goodness, it is so good. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in my cinnamon and nutmeg, as well as we're going to need some baking powder and some baking soda. You're also going to need some brown sugar for this to be added into the dry ingredients. I forgot it at this point, so just letting you know in advance, you will definitely need some brown sugar added to this. And I'll have the recipe down below for you guys. So here I am adding my baking powder and my baking soda into my dry ingredients. We're also going to be adding in a pinch of salt to our dry ingredients here. We're going to give this a really good mix, and then we're going to start adding in our wet ingredients. Okay, so I had to take a little break from all the noise to come and finish this voiceover, but here I am adding in good splash of vanilla extract to my milk and butter. You saw that my butter was fully melted, and that's what you want, is melted butter. I'm adding in my eggs here to my flour on all my dry ingredients. We're just going to start mixing this up, and here is this beautiful discard. I am going to use 1 cup of this discard, and I just love to look at this thing. I mean, look at it. It is just like this amazing consistency. That is just beautiful. So in goes my 1 cup of discard here with my eggs and my dry ingredients and all that stuff. Everything is just going to be added in together right now. We're going to add in those milk, butter, and vanilla. And we're going to give that a mix. You don't want to overmix this because this does have flour in it, but you do want to give it a good mix to make sure everything is incorporated. Here I am adding in that sugar that I forgot at the beginning. Just make sure and add it in, because just don't forget it. You need it. Give that a nice good mix, because that sourdough discard is usually kind of really thick because it's been sitting in the fridge for a long time. But you don't want to obviously overmix it. And that baking soda along with that discard is going to start to like do its magic and become thick and bubbly and frothy. And I have my griddle here. I'm going to cook this on my griddle for about, I think it's like around 350 or so. I set the temperature on, and we're just going to cook our pancakes. Just cook your pancakes till they're fully cooked through. You do want to make sure and brush these liberally with butter on top of them, and just cook them until they are fully cooked through. Serve with your pancake syrup, whatever. Here I am making it again. I make this so often now, it's not even funny. And I wanted to show you here that I did not forget my sugar this time around. So you usually typically would add your sugar to the dry ingredients. I'm adding some blueberries to these pancakes. We picked up some blueberries from, I think it was Costco. And yeah, just delicious. Those blueberries just became like a little jam in the center of those pancakes. These are my favorite things. I am telling you, it is really thick and fluffy. If that's what you're looking for a nice fluffy pancake. And the flavors.